Hi, it's David Blaze. I have something very special for you today. I'd like to introduce you to someone that you may already feel like you know. You may have seen him on television. He's been on TV pretty much every single day for the past 13 years. So his face may very well be familiar. His voice may be familiar. You may even know what he does. And you may even have some of his products already. But I met him, had the opportunity to meet him in person in October of last year at a marketing event, and was just really impressed with the fact that he's grown his business the way that he has. And what I wanted to talk to him about today was not just what he does, which is real estate. You might have already guessed that from his picture up here. But also how he was able to build the successful business that he has built. So I'd like you to welcome Dean Graziosi. Dean, welcome.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
All right. It's great to have you here. Dean has actually taken a few moments from his vacation to be with me and chat, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so if you hear my kids yelling in the background, this is as real as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. So so part of what I wanted Dean to talk to you about, because as you probably know, Dean does a couple of things. One is that he buys and sells real estate. Another is that he teaches people to buy and sell real estate. And when I say people, I mean a lot of people. Over the past years, you've taught tens of thousands? Is it safe? Over a million people how to buy and sell real estate. I have several of Dean's books. I bought them years ago, probably 2 a.m. There's Dean on TV. I bought his books, and I actually had a bit of success in the little bit of real estate that I dabbled in. I'm a dabbler, Dean. I hate to admit that. I mean, you want people who like latch on and buy lots of stuff and have great success stories. I've got a couple. And both of them had to do with buildings that I bought and sold for my own businesses. But in each case, I had two of them, and in both cases, I was able to find motivated sellers, buy at a lower price than I was able to sell them for, and that worked out well. But you're the master.
Yeah, I love and sell hot.
But you're the master of this kind of stuff, and I just wanted to talk, if you don't mind, just talk for a little bit about the idea of building a small business, and how you got sort of from where you were with. It's not like you started out with a whole bunch of money. How you got from where you were to where you are now.
Yeah, there's always a million different reasons how we end up. As entrepreneurs, we want to buy our freedom, right? We want to have our own business and have independence, and sometimes we just buy ourselves another job that causes us more stress and more worry. And when the employee goes home at 5 o'clock, they get to shut it off, and a lot of small business owners are still going at it till midnight, or at least stressing till midnight. You know, so I appreciate that, because I did start as. When I started, I was in high school. I started buying wrecked cars and fixing them up and selling them. And then when I saw that worked, before I was 20, I did my first deal. I'd love to say it was easy. I was out there, banging on doors. It was the last down real estate market. And I banged on enough doors until somebody finally gave me a property with no money down. I wasn't smart enough, like a lot of your clients are, to get advice from someone who's done it bigger and better than them. I was kind of, I guess, a rugged individualist, just thinking I had to figure it out on my own, which was kind of stupid in retrospect, right? I love to tell a story. I do sometimes. I'll use a lot of analogies, but one of them is, I'm very visual in my thinking, and it's like, so many of us want to conquer, it's like getting through the woods to the clearing on the other side. So many of us want to conquer it, and we get scraped up and fall in holes and get muddy, and we flop out on the other side, and somebody's standing there all clean and says, "Hey, pal, I didn't know if you knew there was a path right over there."
Right, yeah.
And I think a lot of times in life we forget that there's a path, and that's why I commend everybody who's watching this and listening to you, David, to help take their business to the next level. And that's what I always try to make sure I never forget, is how it is to be a new business owner or a small business owner and wanting to go to that next level. I mean, one of the things I feel real estate, and I think we'll chat a little bit about real estate later, but I'd like to share some of the fundamentals that help me. One of the things I know for sure is being in business for yourself. Not only can it get tough, but you feel really lonely a lot of times.
That's for sure, yeah. People
from the outside think no matter how big your business is or what you're doing, that you're the lucky one because you're self-employed.
Right.
And I think that's a cross to bear, because it's pretty lonely.
Yeah.
Because your employees think you're the one making all the money. Your friends and family think that maybe you should have done something more secure, and again, I'm sure there's people watching with all levels of success. Some of you doing fantastically well. Some of you just getting going. But one thing I know is that nothing in life could be more rewarding than when you get your business going where you hope it could be. Now, David, you have people just starting out all the way to been doing it for years, super successful.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah, a lot of people who are brand new to the industry, and then some who have been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, who are just killing it.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple little things. Again, I could go in a million different directions, but one of them is I have lots of students that I get to email and I correspond and I build databases. Like David talks to you, I talk to my list. And one of the things I asked them not too long ago was, what was the biggest thing holding them back to go to the next level, to expand their business, or do their first deal, which could be you just starting off. And the funny thing was I gave them options like my training wasn't good enough, not enough time, not money. But the one overwhelming thing was people said negative people in their life were stopping them from going in different channels. And there's just one thing I want you to realize is watch the conversations that you have on a regular basis and who you share with.
Right.
Because so many times in life you take advice, and I'm not trying to go down the Anthony Robbins personal development path, but it's just so important that watching the advice that comes in, because it can really affect your daily attitude, what you deliver to students, what you deliver to your clients, what you deliver to your employees could be affected by the conversations or the negativity you're receiving. And I think it was a hard one for me, because every time I go to another level, people say, why don't you play it safe, Dean? Why don't you get real? Why don't you stop being a dreamer? On every level of my growth, until you get to a certain level, and then everybody wants to follow it, right?
Yeah.
But while you're trudging the path, sometimes it can get tough. So I didn't mean to go down that road. That was really fresh on my mind because it was a survey I've done recently.
Yeah. It's interesting in promotional product sales. A lot of people, families, you say I do promotional products, and they're like, they don't always get it. It's hard enough just for people to understand what it is that we do, let alone how we do it. And then eventually they get around to understanding it. But I mean, real estate is a little easier to understand, maybe a little easier to explain.
No, exactly. So you guys got to. And here's one other thing that I'll talk about. If you're in promotional sales, pretty much everybody has to sell that's watching, right, David?
Exactly.
Either they're selling themselves or they have a team selling, correct?
Yes.
And I'll tell you what's helped my sales, and this can help you, and you might say, oh, this guy was crazy, didn't help anything, but I hope to just deliver wisdom that helps you, because selling can solve a lot of problems. If you sell more, you could fix a lot more things. And I always was in sales, because I was either selling houses or cars or then selling my books.
Right.
And I'll tell you when my sales went to another level. Here's the definition.
Okay.
Is when you see somebody who's got a really salesy gimmick or a pitch, if they're really good at presenting what they want to have to offer. I've watched some guys go really fast to a certain level, but then they hit a ceiling of complexity, because they're looking for, or she's looking for, the next pitch, the next angle to tell someone else what they should be doing. And let me just share with you the number one reason I think I've done so well on TV and sold hundreds of millions of dollars to my product is because people buy from you, and you should write this down. People buy from you when they feel understood, not just when they understand you.
Okay, great.
Think about that. They buy from you when they feel understood, not when they just understand you. It's like going to a car dealership, and the car dealer, the sales guy comes out and goes, hey, let me tell you about the special we got today. You guys would look great in this red little Maserati, blah, blah, blah. And he goes on, and maybe he gets lucky because he's got a good pitch. But wouldn't you feel a lot more comfortable if the salesman came out and said, hey, what are you looking for today? I see you have 2 kids. What can we make you? When they get to know you and you feel understood as the person you automatically bond with.
Right.
So, again, knowing your client and entering a conversation they're already having and listening more than talking has been probably one of the biggest assets of my selling, David.
Yeah.
Is trying to have a dialogue with somebody rather than a monologue of a great pitch. I've watched great pitchmen do really well, but then they hit this level of complexity.
Yeah, it's essentially it's that consultative or that diagnostic approach where you're finding out what's wrong before you try to recommend a solution. And
of course.
And it works at all levels, works in all different fields. It's great advice. So one of the other things that I find is interesting is that in addition to operating your own business, I mean, you do what you teach other people to do. You're buying and selling real estate. You're doing that all the time. So essentially, you've got this one career over here as the businessman, entrepreneur, with employees doing millions and millions and millions, and you can talk numbers if you want to, dollars worth of sales. And you're also buying and selling real estate on your own over here. So you can do both.
Yeah, and let me tell you there's 2 reasons for that. Real estate is what got me here, so I don't want to give up on anything that, got me. got me to where I am.
Right.
And here's one thing I know. If I don't stay involved in real estate, I'll lose touch of what's going on the ground to teach better. And I'll recommend that with whatever you do. So many times, as your business grows, you stop working on your business, you work in your business. You know what I mean? You're dealing with, your clients are dealing with day-to-day BS. Someone's sick, can't come in, an employee steals something, insurance, taxes, all the things that overwhelm a business owner. And what got them there would be great sales skills, great communication skills. But now you got a pile of paperwork this high at your desk, and you're just trying to power through it, right? Learn the greatest next thing. All I know is when I stay involved in real estate, I know the pain that my new students are going through. And I would recommend that with any business. If you want to know how to improve your business, ask your customers. Go back to what you used to do or what they're currently doing. Understand their struggles. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, where there's anxiety, there's opportunity. You know, and if my students have anxiety on how to get in their first deal, and I'm hanging out with just millionaires at the country club, not doing real estate anymore, just thinking of the next marketing ploy or the next marketing secret to get them to buy my stuff, I lose touch, and that's where you see guys just slowly fade away. And I have a fear of that. I never want to be that guy that everybody watching goes, oh, remember when that Dean Graziosi guy was on TV doing good in real estate, and you haven't seen him or heard of him anymore? And that's, you know, that's my internal fear, but it drives me to stay in touch. So yeah, in the last probably 2 months, David, I've probably done close to or more than 50 deals, and I'm talking single transaction houses, the same deals I teach my students to buy, develop, buy and hold, buy and flip. I mean, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you're out there trying to make money. You're trying to get your business growing, but there's no better partner than your money actually making money or the bank's money making money, right? So why real estate is such a great asset is because everybody can do what you're currently doing, David, but if they're invested right in a down real estate market, I mean, the real estate market's like a roller coaster. We're at the bottom. We teach our students to buy below the bottom, right? So if you can make smart investment decisions in a bottom market while you're working and your money is working alongside of you, that's a really cool partner. And then you don't fight with your partner when it's money, you know? Yeah, exactly. One of the things that always appealed to me about real estate was the leverage that it gives you. In other words, if you're looking at a $100,000 property, you can basically, if you're able to buy something below market value for $100,000 and it's worth $120 or whatever, and you either put little down or nothing down. Let's say you put 10% down. You put down $10,000 for a $100,000 property. If you're able to sell it for $120, then basically you've made $20,000 on essentially a $10,000 investment, which means you're doubling your money. You can't really do that in any other kind of business or industry. No, you know, even some of the things that people ask me, they'll think of one of the three things when you buy, hold, and rent. Let's just say that's one of the strategies. We teach our students, if they have money to buy, hold, and rent, and you have property managers, and I call something the human automation network, let other people do most of the work. Because in a real estate space, unlike anything else, you have so many people like real estate agents, mortgage brokers, property managers, attorneys, loan officers, title companies. All of them will work for you for free until you actually do a deal. So you don't have to pay them unless you actually make money, right? Right. So if you have money, great. If you don't, we have the best no money down strategy on the planet right now. But long story short is, if you buy, hold, and rent in a down market. So if you look at real estate, I know this is on Skype, it's hard to see, maybe, but like a roller coaster. Right. And we're at the bottom of the roller coaster. Yeah. And we teach our students to buy below the roller coaster. So like you're saying, if you buy a $100,000 house in current value, so maybe that house was 180 or 200 3 years ago. Yeah. It's worth 100. We're teaching our students to buy those for 40, 50, 60,000. Wow. Here's how things compound. When you buy that, this is the three assets nobody thinks of, or the three benefits. And so you buy that, you stick a renter in it. So if you pull all your cash out or you finance it, the bank puts up most of the money. Right. Every month, you still make positive cash flow. So you're making $200, $300, $500 and whatever that number is. But here's the other part that people don't realize. As you're doing it, tenants are paying off your loan every single month. Right? You're not paying off the asset. It's like buying a stock and someone else paying the stock price, the value, so you don't owe anything. They're giving you your money back, right? Right. But then even better, when you buy below the bottom, we might go the next 2 or 3 years, David, without a single bump in the real estate market. It may not go up 1% in the next couple, 3 years, right? Right. But when it turns, it goes up really significant. That's been the history of real estate forever. It's not something I'm just taking off the top of my head. It's been the same roller coaster ride since real estate has been born, right? So when you get and you rent something, your tenant's paying off your mortgage or what you owe on it. You're making money every month, but then when the asset appreciates, you get all that value as well.
Right.
So I mean, listen, any time is a good time to invest in real estate, but nothing's ever been like we are right now. I mean, anybody watching who's even ever considered it, if you don't learn from me, find a mentor in your town, somebody doing it bigger and better than you. Mm-hmm. This is real estate right now. I mean, I yell and scream at every one of my family members. I'm like, if you're not doing it, it's going to be one of those things where you look back in 5 years and go, man, I was alive when that $200,000 house I could have bought for $60,000.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great
Sorry,
point.
I get a little passionate about it.
I noticed that, and it's very contagious. I think when when you're in business for yourself, or when you're selling for yourself, you're working on that day-to-day stuff, and it's sometimes hard to see that forest for the trees. It's sometimes hard to see opportunities. But again, one of the reasons I wanted to introduce you to the people who get my stuff is that you're what you've done as a business person, in addition to doing the real estate and doing all that. I mean, how do you manage to keep all those balls in the air?
Oh, it's not easy.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm kind of glad to hear that.
We're always looking for that. Somebody's got it all figured out. That they're not stressed, they're not worried. Just the money's flowing in.
Right. Yeah.
No, but I think one bit of advice I would give everybody is, in school we were taught, to work on your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. Hands down, I remember, I was in special ed till 11th grade because I couldn't read well. Still not the best reader or speller. Mm-hmm. Got a couple New York Times bestsellers, so Mrs. Thompson, who used to call me stupid, she's probably a little upset about that.
That's right. I write books, Mrs. Thompson. I don't read them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't need to read. But what I was going to tell you is something that I've really spent some time working on lately is getting better at what I'm already good at, and I don't mean recently, probably in recent 5 years, is every single person watching, the reason you're in business is because you have a unique ability, and I got that from being a part of Strategic Coach. It's a mentorship that I go to and pay $20,000 a year to be taught to be a better entrepreneur, a better leader.
Right.
We all have a unique ability that got you here, whether it's your social skills, if it's how to run a business, how to get people to say yes, you get people to put money, people trust you. Mm-hmm. Our unique ability got us here, and then again, when your business comes on you, we've been taught get good at what you're weak at, and you look for all the holes in your business and you try to fix them.
Right.
Here's what I know for a fact: when I work within my unique ability and I go deep on changing people's lives, being good on camera, selling, when I do that so well, I can pay other people to fill the holes that I'm not good at. I refuse to try to get good at stuff I suck at, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I only want to get amazing at what I'm already good at. And I think each of you watching right now, if you wrote down, what's my unique ability? What got me here? Just be honest with yourself. Shut the door, shut the phone off, shut your computer off, and just start writing down whatever comes to mind. What got me here? Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the paper, draw a line down the middle. On the other side of the paper, what are you actually doing on a daily basis?
Right. And
I bet to say a lot of people aren't doing a daily basis what got them there anymore. Because you're stuck in this. I just see it happen over and over. It doesn't matter if you sell, door to door, you sell, real estate or anything, and it's all the same.
Yeah, you're right. I think probably anybody in business very likely falls into that trap. And even now, like you make somebody aware of something like that, it's like now I know it intellectually, but I guarantee you a couple weeks from now, take another look at what you're doing, even if you fix it now, and you'll probably be doing that. But it's a great point. But one of the things that impressed me when we met in October is the fact that you even if obviously you're not doing everything that needs to get done in your company, you've got a handle on. It seems like you've got a handle on everything that's going on. What needs to get done, making sure that you're focusing on all the most important things.
Yeah, I do, because at the end of the day, I don't want to lose sight. Emails, and I'm literally writing personal emails to people because I want to get them engaged. Here's what I know is when you feel so good about what you offer, promotional product, real estate, cars, whatever it is, when you feel good about what you offer, it makes selling completely different, because I feel obligated to get people to buy my stuff, because if they buy my competitor stuff, I feel they're not going to get as much quality. They're going to could get ripped off, or they might do nothing at all. So the same with promotional. If you don't fine-tune marketing and selling, and do whatever you can to get people engaged in your product and somebody else's. They might go to your competitor and they're not going to get treated as good or get as a good a product.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, selling can be used as the greatest thing on the planet or something horrible. I mean, think about it. Selling is getting someone intellectually engaged to make a decision with you, right?
Right.
And if you add one thing in there, if you add back that you want to make somebody's life better, right? But you could sell cigarettes and gambling, and you'd be really good at it, but you're helping anybody. And I mean, for me, it would be really hard to sell a cigarette or pushing a toxic that would hurt somebody.
Right.
But when I know my books will help change somebody's life, I'll do a free trick, technique, learn, digest in the book, get you to buy my stuff.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's smart.
when you feel good about what you do, it makes you. You're asking why I'm involved in so many pieces. It's because I feel obligated to get people not only in my program but change their lives once they're in it, and that has made my business grow so much that, truthfully, I'm afraid to back out of some of those pieces. Especially, I don't get involved. If you want the truth, David, I don't get involved in the day-to-day bookkeeping. I look at the books on a monthly basis to make sure nobody's ripping me off.
Yeah.
I get involved in the spreadsheets, the follow-up, the step-by-step, the fulfillment. A lot of the stuff that doesn't fit my unique ability, I try to hire people. But I do know when it comes to human communication, the way my emails go out, the way my videos go out, the way my product touches people, what that does for people, I can't let that out of my hands because I know that's what got me here.
Yeah.
And there was a time about 5 years ago that I did, and I noticed an absolute difference. So, again, no matter what you're doing in your life, if you know what got you here, you know what your unique ability is, just go deep on it, and I promise you the results will flow over.
Yeah. Well, you also, I mean, you have videos that you put out to the general public. You have videos that you put out internally to your own staff. I know that because I watched some of your videos.
You got a good memory, David.
Yeah, and I mean, again, one of the reasons that I wanted to introduce you to people is because I think that your stuff is definitely worth following and worth watching. If they're interested in real estate, that they definitely need to do it. If they're not interested in real estate and they just want to get some good tips and some good feedback from a good guy.
What we do, just to see how we handle customers and how we treat people, and you get some really good. You still there, David?
Yes.
Okay, I lost you for a second.
Yep. Oh, now I'm.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's
if you
okay.
can see me, that's cool.
You know what? I can hear you, but now your picture's gone.
Okay.
Okay, now you're back. Now we're both back. Okay.
All right. We had a little technical difficulty. We're all good now.
Yeah.
I think it would absolutely be worth anybody's time just to see the way we market, see the way we sell, and then see the way we handle our clients.
Yeah. Well,
because a couple of things to remember, and I'm sure, David, you teach this. This is why people learn from you and follow you. Is there's never too much good communication.
Right.
There's never too much information that you could share with your clients. And remember this: if you get better at what you do, and you teach your clients how to be better at what they do, they become repeat customers.
Exactly.
Meaning, if you teach them how to utilize your products and services, not just sell them, make it so they digest what you give them, use it, and want to go out and do more.
Right.
Because maybe you wouldn't be in that business, that there's probably an absolute return on somebody doing business with your clients rather than not doing that part of their business at all, correct?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So the more you could teach them why, the more you could get them engaged in, and I mean your students or your clients' right? The more you can educate them why they should be using your service, the more they will keep digesting it. What I mean by that is it's easy to make a sale, and in so many cases, once we make a sale, we go out and need to make the next sale,
right?
And then we want the next sale, and we'll forget is the 80-20 rule that our 20% core clients are going to give us 80% of our profits. But in so many cases, we're out searching for the next guy when we should be like, bonding with the client we currently have on a deeper level.
Yeah, exactly. And when in the promotional products industry, I mean, so much of it, you can be a product peddler. You can just sell stuff, but that really has no value. I mean, the entire value in our industry is exactly what you're describing. It's about how you can help them use a promotional product to get better results, to get more clients, to retain customers, to reward employees. It's all about those results, and so it's all very tied in.
90% of every business I know, including my sister's got a great business, and it took me years to get my own sister to do some business. But your clients' clients, your students' clients, most of them don't understand the fact of building a relationship, the importance of an email address, the importance of sending great little emails saying, thank you, glad you're on board, hope the promotional product works. Here's another idea for you and your business. Things that make them open an email and stay in contact, so the next time they think of a promotion, the next time they think of anything, they're calling your clients for more.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So a lot of the things you're teaching should be taught to the end consumer as well, because at the end of the day, the more educated they are, the more they're going to come back to the person who taught them.
Right.
And that's a lot of the things you'll see with our company is that we've kind of pulled the curtain back and do very transparent marketing. We do very transparent education. We stay in contact. And, you said something before. I don't know how big of businesses your clients have, whether it's 1 employee, 5, or 50. I'm not sure.
All over, but a lot of small businesses.
Yeah, and even if it's 2 or 3 or 4, if you're not with them on a daily basis, if you're out doing your thing and they're doing theirs, one thing that's worked really well for me, and I tell everybody to do this because you could do it with YouTube and make it really simple. I do a weekly video that every one of my employees need to watch.
Right.
And I keep the vision of where our company, where our focus is, fresh in their mind. It's not a monthly conference call or a meeting where we get together once a quarter or try to do a Monday morning meeting when everybody's all freaked out. I do a video that we could see everybody who logs in and they just watch it, and I'll talk about our clients, I'll talk about where we're going, what happened for the week, what success we had, if something went wrong, how we fixed it. And it honestly, it transformed everything.
Yeah.
It really did. It made a huge impact on our company. I tell everybody to steal the idea if it's a thought.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, well, very cool. So over the course of the next few days, you're going to be releasing a series of videos that basically walk people through how to do a lot of stuff in terms of buying real estate. Yeah,
absolutely. This is such a great time for people to get involved in real estate. Like I said, we're at the rock bottom, and that's the name of this program and system that we put together, this training system. It's incredible. I mean, we got videos, some of the best videos I've ever done. If you ever thought about real estate or even didn't think about it, you just want to watch the process of how we've done this, you should watch these videos. They're pretty fantastic. So
yeah,
it's cool. If you share them with everybody, they're going to get a lot of value out of it.
I saw the little video clip of what your life might have been if you hadn't gotten real estate. That's a pretty cool one. So we'll be sure to share that with our listeners as well.
You got to take a look at that. So it's cool stuff.
Very good. All right, Dean. Well, thanks a lot. I'll let you get back to your vacation. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for interacting with our people here. I just wanted to make sure I got you guys properly introduced.
All right, awesome, David. You're great. Thanks.
Thanks, Dean. You too. Appreciate it.